Last week, we spoke about China's expansionism in the region. Today, we talk about another key player, and that is Japan. Japan, as of recent, has extended its prominence in countries such as India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And as of recent, Japan has vested its interests on industrial hubs to be built in landlocked northeast areas of India with the hopes of connecting it to the region. Would this mean that Japan will finally square up as a rival to China's interests? Let's take a look at this report.
Japan and China competing for economic and commercial influence in Asia. Days after the visit of the Japanese Prime Minister Kishida to India, now talks of an industrial hub based in Bangladesh with supply chains running all the way to India's northeast and to Nepal and Bhutan. A trilateral alliance for the Bay of Bengal and for India's landlocked northeast, aided by Bangladesh's Chittagong port and the Matarbari port, funded by Japan. The Matarbari port will be Bangladesh's first deep-sea port capable of hosting large vessels. Its geographical location an important strategic investment both for Japan and for India. It will enhance India's port connectivity to the northeast. So is this Japan's counter to China's influence in the region? Let's take a look. Japan is Bangladesh's largest donor. The Kishida government is funding 3 infrastructure projects worth $1.27 billion in Nepal, including the port in Matarbari. In 2014, Bangladesh joined Japan's Bay of Bengal Industrial Growth Belt initiative. In 2020, Bangladesh and Japan signed a loan deal comprising Japanese investments in 7 mega projects in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is in the process of negotiating a comprehensive economic agreement with India and a similar trade cooperation agreement possibly with Japan. For Japan, India is central to its South Asia policy. So it's not just Bangladesh where they find their interests aligned. In Sri Lanka too, India and Japan are closely working to restructure the island nation's debt. The two have been top donors and investors in Sri Lanka, but that doesn't match China's sheer volumes of investment and therefore debt dependency. In 2018, Japan donated 2 petrol vessels to Sri Lanka, each vessel costing nearly $11 million, irking China. Just like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, in Nepal too, Japan is pledging economic support. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has signed a loan agreement of 10 billion yen to aid economic growth. Ongoing projects under the scheme are the Tanahun Hydro Project, the Nagdunga Tunnel, and improvement of water supply. Increasing Japanese influence in Nepal is sure to cause China discomfort given Nepal shares a border with Tibet. So can a new continental order reshape the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific? Japan has pledged $75 billion for an open and free Indo-Pacific by 2030. It is to help economies in South and Southeast Asia counter China's assertiveness. As for India, the northeast is critical as it shares a common border with China, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and Bhutan. China claims Arunachal as its territory and is opposed to any outside investment in the region, but that has not stopped Japan from investing in the northeast as a challenge to China's expansionism. It also supports India having a firmer footing in the Asia-Pacific and Bay of Bengal region. Kishida has described India as an indispensable partner whose role is integral for maintaining peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific. Can Japan's East-West networks and India's North-South transport corridor be a viable alternative to China's Belt and Road Initiative? Nearly half of the world's trade passes through the region. Japanese financing is widely seen as more reliable as opposed to China's invasive economic influence. It seems Japan's quiet diplomacy can be a real challenge to China's overarching ambitions in Asia.